Hello students, how are you all? I hope you all are fine. Today we are going to start with our fourth chapter, that is how the traders became rulers. Right? So in this chapter we are going to study about the Britishers who came to India for trading, and slowly they started ruling over India, right? Let's begin. The children were engrossed in reading story of two cats and monkey during the recess. So here is one incident which was happening in a school. So over there the two over there the children were reading a story. They were busy in reading a story of two cats and monkeys. So on reading this story, Jay and Mitali were making fun of each other. So while reading this story, there were two kids which were Jay and Mitali. They both were making fun of each other. They both were laughing on each other. So their class teacher, who was sitting beside them, said, "Children, this too is a policy." So see, while they were making fun, their teacher told that, "See, this thing can be harmful for you. This too is a policy." The third party takes advantage of a quarrel between the two. So while they both were making fun, their teacher told them that this can be a advantage for the third person. Let's see how the British had expanded their empire in India with such a policy. So his teacher told that this was a policy, or this advantage was taken by the Britishers while they came to trade in India. Jay asked, "Sir, how is that possible?" So that child asked his sir that how is that possible? How can a third person take advantage of between that two persons? So his teacher explained him that the class teacher replied, "Let us go to the class, and there I will explain you about how the British came to India." So he told that his class teacher told them that let's go to the class and I will tell you over there that how did the British came to India and established their rule over the Indians, right? So after going to class, his class teacher told that by the mid of 18th century, the British had started to emerge strong power on the Indian political horizon. So the Britishers were started emerging a very strong power in the mid of 18th century. The British started taking a very strong power, and they were ruling over the Indian political horizon. Do you know that the Britishers came to India only for trade? See, here his teacher asked the students a question that, do you know that Britishers came over to India only for trade? See, the first people who came to India for trade were the Portuguese, and after Portuguese there were many people who started coming to India for trade, and they all got the permission to trade in India. Same way, Britishers also came to trade with India. Slowly they started making ports, and they they started capturing over some of the Indian territories and some of the states as well. So initially they took permission to trade in Indian states. Then how did they become the rulers of the entire India? So while first time when they came to India, they had to take permission from the from the Indian kings. So they got the permission to trade and start their trading business. The history of the British rule aroses many such questions. To serve their economic interests, they increased the political hold on the India with the use of British diplomatic tactics. So slowly, as they got the permission, they started to increase their economic as well as political power with their diplomatic tactics, which means their skills of breaking or to they started destroying the relations of the Indians, and they broke down the unity of Indians, and they started ruling over India. Now here there is one policy which was been adopted by the Britishers to make their power more strong in India. So this policy's name was Wellesley's policy of expansion. So basically the Governor General named Wellesley made this policy, and this policy's name was the Subsidiary Alliance System. Now let's see what was this Wellesley's policy of expansion. When Wellesley came to India as Governor General, cutthroat competition existed between the England and France. So, as I told you that during the time when Britishers came to India, there were many other countries who were trading from India, and England and France were also in a very cutthroat competition. They both wanted to rule over India. It was necessary to check France from becoming powerful in India so as to expand the British rule in India. So, as the France was also their competition, they wanted to cut off that competition and make the British rule more stronger in India. They did not want that the French power to be more stronger. So they thought that subsidiary alliance may help in that. Wellesley introduced a new plan which was known as the subsidiary alliance. So this Wellesley was the Governor General. So he made this plan of subsidiary alliance system. What was there in this plan? Let's see. As per the scheme, any princely state that accepted the alliance had to keep and maintain the British army as well as a British representative in the royal court. So basically, this Wellesley's alliance or the subsidiary alliance system was basically a policy that if a princely state, that means if any state accepts this policy, their state will be maintained by the Britishers, and there were certain rules that, for example, if there is a state, for example, and there is a king ruling over there, if that king accepts the subsidiary alliance system, their army will not be there. Instead of that, Britishers will provide army to that particular state, and that all thing will be maintained by a British ruler. Along with that, they also had rule that there should be a one person of Britishers who will be there in their court. Along with that, there were many other rules, like the head or the prince cannot take any decisions regarding the state. They need to take permission of the Britishers. No princely state who has accepted the subsidiary alliance system can wage war against any of the state, right? So this all were certain rules which were there in subsidiary alliance system, and if a princely state accepts this rule, then their court will have one British representative, and their state will have British army. So many states thought that this could be an advantage, but that was an diplomatic tactic which was being used by the Britishers to rule over India. So this way, the Britishers could maintain their army without spending any money. So what happened? They just sent their army to that state, and the state provided them the money or the income to the British army. So in that way, they did not have to spend their own money. And other than that, however, the princely states were not allowed to utilize the army at their own will, and the army was not allowed to take the orders from this princely state. In fact, that orders they used to follow the orders which were given by the Britishers. This system which made the subsidiary alliance sorry this system which made many feel secure in the beginning. So many of the Indians thought that this thing would be secured for India and made them feel enslaved and threatened. Subsidiary alliance acted like a slow poison. So many of the states thought that this could be an advantage for, or this could be good for our state, but actually it was not. It was like a slow poison. Slowly what the Britishers were going to do, they were started to take over all the rule. So there were many victims. The Indian states that became the victims of the subsidiary alliance were Hyderabad, Mysore, Ayodhya, Jodhpur, Gaikwads of Vadodara, Peshwa of Pune, Scindias of Gwalior. So these were the states who were in this trap of subsidiary alliance. So that's it for today's class. We will continue the chapter in the next class. Thank you.